Hello, my friends. This is Andy Orr, the Facebook Live TV show, coming to you live from Bray, California. I am in the middle of creating a training video on how to live stream and how to use StreamYard. If you want StreamYard, you're going to want to make sure and use this URL right here, which is getstreamyard.live, getstreamyard.live. And again, I'm making a video right now using ScreenFlow to teach people how to begin a broadcast, from the very basic to a few more complicated steps that make your live stream look a little bit more professional, like using this lower third right here is not that professional. This is just one really quick one I put together just for the demonstration purposes. And then how to use an intro video and that kind of stuff. So we have in this video that I'm creating, it has the basics of just bringing your camera up and hitting live and begin talking, to lower thirds, backgrounds, how to bring in a guest and that kind of stuff. Some best practices. Nobby, I was just going to go over Rebecca. Stop hobbing. Hey, Eric Mulford, nice to see you, dude. All right, and so you can bring in your guest right here. All right. So one of the things that we're talking about is that how to create a lower third, what programs I use to use this. In this one, I use Google Drive, or no, I'm sorry, Google Slides to create this lower third. I also use a program called Canva. In the demo training video that I'm creating right now, as we are speaking, I talk about Canva and Google Slides. Hey, Claire, nice to see you. So happy to see you. And then I also talk about another platform where I created that intro video. And what you're going to want to do is go to, shoot, I forgot what the URL is that I created. Hold on. I think I still have it up here. Let me look. No, I took it down. It is, shoot. I'll have to put it in the comments. I created a new branded URL for that program. Oh, well, I'll have to put it up later. It's a fantastic program, by the way. I'm going to be trying to interview the creator of the platform. It is fantastic. That's what I create all my intros and outros with. It's really, really cool. All right. And Nabi, don't give it away, because I know that you know what it is. Don't put it in because I want them to use my affiliate link, by the way. All right. Another thing we're going to talk about is what happens when you have a guest. So if we bring up a guest, which I don't have one, but I have a camera set up that makes it look like a guest. What you want to do before you bring up that guest, again, I'm speaking to my students who are watching this training video, is you want to go to brand. You want to take down the lower third, because we're going to be now having the person's name underneath their camera. You go to background. You change the background to this one. Now, you're not going to see it on the screen because it's happening in the background. Understand that StreamYard works in layers. So you have background, you have your camera, and then you have your overlays, right? Now, if you switch that so that it faces this way, you got your overlay in front, you got your camera, which is next, and then back here you have the background, which shows through. I changed the background and you didn't even notice, but when I bring up my guest, it is now going to show the background. And there's the background. The background is the Facebook Live TV show, branding at the top, and then the names underneath. Again, that is using, in this case, I use Canva to create the graphic that is running as my background. All right. If I were to take down my cameras here, and now, oops, I switched positions here. There we go. That can happen where you end up over the wrong name. All right. So you got my name's underneath me, and I got my guest, who was my guest last night, with the name under him. All right. So that's using a background, and then you have the cameras on front. And then, again, the reason why I take the lower third, because if I left that lower third up, it would look like this, which is wrong, right? You don't want it to look like that. Or even StreamYards would block part of the branding of the top. All right, and you can see everything else that I talked about. For those of you watching the training video, goes into the next thing. For those of you that are watching, if you want to see this training video, just send me a comment. I have a couple ways that you can see it. I have strategicmarketingtoday.com, which is a platform where I have a private Facebook group that you can get into, and that's at strategicmarketingtoday.com. And if you go to Strategic Marketing on Facebook and ask to be added to the group, you just do that. All right, and I will add you to the group. All right, and that's where I'm going to be placing the video. If you want to be part of our mastermind group where this kind of this discussion actually started, then you're going to want to join our mastermind group. And if you want to join us in the mastermind, just let me know and I'll show you how you can do that. All right, let's look at a couple more of these comments. So Claire, cool, nice. It's magic, Jim House says. And I'll be saying hi to Jim. One thing you don't want to do is click through these comments too quickly. One of the things I've seen people do is they do this. They do this. They go, oh, hi, Claire. Hi, Jim. Hi. And they go this, and people are going, wait, I didn't. They want to read what's on there, right? we know what it says because we can see it on our screen. But you want to make sure that you leave it on. If you're going to put it on screen, you don't have to. Again, now you don't have to put. I don't put everything that Nobby says on screen. Nobby says a lot of stuff. And I don't always put it up. And so if somebody like Claire puts something in here, like I would love to see it. I have StreamYard, but I haven't used it. Please add me to your group. You're going to have to go to the group and be asked to be added because I will never remember after I get done making this training video to add you, Claire. Not because I don't love you. It's just that's who I am. So go into Facebook, type in strategic marketing today. And it should show you that group and then ask permission to be added. And I will be more than happy to do that. But back to what I was saying, you see there's a lot of words here. You want to make sure and leave it up long enough so that people can read it. Be courteous to the people that are watching that you don't pull something down. How many of you watch something with, captioning underneath on Netflix or something like that? And you ever watch those shows where it's only up there for a second, you go, shoot, I have to rewind. And you have to use the Apple controller, and it's hard. You're trying to rewind 10 seconds because it doesn't stay up there. The subtitle doesn't stay up there long enough for you to read the entire thing. Very frustrating. That's how people feel when you throw up a comment and you bring it down too quickly and they haven't been able to read the whole thing. I notice you don't put up all my comments. Why is that? Because they're not all appropriate, Nobby. And if they want to read them, they can see them then. So make sure you give enough time for that comment to show up. Do not flip through so quickly so that people cannot read them. Now, single word ones like this, hey, Jim House saying hi to Nobby, and then sometimes you may want to comment on that of what it is that's going on there. I'm gonna go ahead and just make my camera solo. All right, and so another thing about comments is that try not to, again, I'm speaking to myself, understand, I'm talking to myself, all of you that have watched me on a regular basis, make sure that your comments don't derail your show entirely. Now, listen, a part of my character on screen is that I get engaged in some of the comments that are on there, but you gotta be careful, and I'm totally aware of this, of that you can begin to go too far with a comment that only makes sense between you and the person that commented. And so be very careful that when you're bringing the comments and begin to talk about comments that you don't go too far. As long as it remains somewhat humorous, if humor is your thing you're talking about, that you can go there for just a second and get a couple chuckles. You got to know when to leave and know when you've gone too far. Again, I struggle with that line quite often. So don't that you can go on too far, but be careful. And that's another reason why I don't bring up every comment, because not every comment's going to allow me to continue with the discussion. Understand that if you're on a very maybe serious point or a point that's maybe very technical, that in the middle of that technical discussion, you don't want to bring up. So if I'm talking about, so when you're doing blah, 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 oh, I've noticed you don't put up all my comments, right? Yeah, that's so funny, Nobby. And they go, okay, now where was I? And now you've forgotten where you are on that technical discussion, or again, a very moving discussion or something like that. Be careful about when you choose to bring those things up. Now, no doubt there's been times where I've talked about something serious that makes me, especially when it has to do with my kids, I begin to get a little bit emotional. Sometimes I'll bring up a comment to get me from being more emotional. And it'll allow me to kind of, yeah, okay, you went too far, come back. You don't need to get so serious and then come back from something. So you can use the comments for certain things, for changing the mood. You can use the comments for just bringing in some humor into your content. But be careful on how you're using it too, because you can derail your own message by going to it at the wrong time, sticking too long on something that only relates to you and the person commenting, and doing it maybe too often. You want to kind of fit it in there and make sure that it makes sense to do so. And you're the OG of going live. You've been doing this from day one. Respect. Yeah, actually day one of Facebook. I think it was day one, maybe two, that I went live on Facebook. All right. So again, here I've gotten. You can see how easy. So those of you watching the training video right now, as you're watching the recording of what I'm doing in ScreenFlow, is that you can see how quickly the engagement really begins to happen. And let me speak to that just one second, as it just came up as I was talking. Is that the one great thing about using StreamYard as opposed to using your phone is that you can show the comments on screen. Showing the comments on screen is great for you, because as people begin to comment, it builds the opportunity for Facebook to see your video and want to share it with the world. The more engagement you have on a video, the more likely Facebook is going to make sure it's available for other people to see, and they're going to push it out there so people can see it. The other thing is that it creates engagement. When people see, especially Nabi loves seeing his picture on screen. That's why he made this picture that he has on there just for my live streaming, so the women can see and swoon over his picture. He wants his picture to be up there as much as possible, and so by you bringing it up, it makes him want to comment more, right? And so on and so forth. The more that you put things like that up, the people that really like to see their comments. I'm one of those people. I love it when my comment gets read when I'm watching, Mari Smith or Molly Mahoney, some of the other people that are on quite often. Gage and Dan, when they're doing their StreamYard stuff, when they pull up my comment and ask my question, it makes me want to ask another question. And so a lot of people are like that. So having the ability to bring up comments is a great tool to, again, create engagement and to cause people to comment. Another thing is you can also use phrasing in your broadcast. You want to be careful not to say, "Hey, I want you to comment," because strangely enough, Facebook catches that when you're telling people to comment and making them comment by being that direct. What you can say, is there anybody that has is there anybody that can relate to what it is I'm talking about? And that will cause somebody to say, "Oh yes, I can totally," and there's a comment that will show up. Do you have any more, do you have any ideas for what I can do with my broadcast? Is there something that you would like to see on my broadcast? That will create maybe 1 or 2 comments. So you're questioning people on your broadcast in a way that's going to cause them to comment and to do more stuff. That again is great for building reach and engagement, which again, Facebook likes and will allow you to build your audience out there. All right, you have more lives than I do. I have been in since day one as well, but I got sidelined for a bit. I'm over 700. Fantastic. I don't even know how many I got. I have a lot of different shows that I do, between dog training, the COVID live TV show that I do now, to the Facebook Live TV show, and what else? Oh, the CBD. Oh, I completely forgot the CBD and wellness show that I do. So I could be on 3 or 4 times a day. Rich Moore says, "Don't worry, I talk to myself often as well." Yeah, who doesn't? Hey, that is cool stuff. All right. The great thought. I was only thinking of using StreamYard for interviews. We'll try that going live alone. Absolutely. It's yeah. Jim, if anybody can do it, you can do it, and you'll probably do it much better than I do. But again, the important thing, and again, this is speaking to both the live audience and the people that are watching this in the recorded version, is that at some point you have to push the button, right, and go live and just start doing it. It's not going to be perfect in the beginning. Your numbers right now, I got 14, which is odd, which is really fun. Well, 16 now. Is that when you end a video, it'll show like 42 to 100 to 150 people were watching, right, as a count for views. But as you're watching, you're going to see it go up and down between 1 person, 0 people, to 15 to 25 to 30. Who knows how many are actually watching? So don't get caught up in the numbers that are showing up there. I love to see higher numbers. Of course, that makes you feel good that people are watching. But in the beginning, in particular, don't worry about how many people are watching. Just start doing them. Begin to engage and talk to people out there in the world about what it is that you do, whatever your authority is, whatever your expertise is in, and begin to build a following and to begin building your expertise, because the more you talk about it, the more of an expert you become in it. And the more that you begin to understand what people want, what people want to hear from you, it'll come through in the comments they're making. Oh, tell me more about that. Or can you tell me how to do this? Or which cameras do you use? Or what microphones do you use? And that kind of stuff. And once you begin to answer some of the questions that come in both in the live version of your broadcast and the replay version of your broadcast, you really begin to understand what it is your audience wants to hear and what it is they like and what it is they don't like. And so you'll never learn that if you never push that button which says live on the side. So push the button that says live, begin to talk, and begin to learn as you're doing these broadcasts, and be willing to watch your broadcasts after you've done them. One of the hardest things for me to do in the beginning was to watch my own broadcasts. But I knew I had to do it in order to learn what it is that I do that's annoying, which is still probably 100 of the things that I do. But like having gas while you're talking. But the ums that I just did, I have reduced those down a large number. I used to have a lot more ums than I currently have now. I enunciate better. As a matter of fact, I was on a phone call with somebody just this morning, and they said, it's so funny how you enunciate your words. And I said, hello, me? And she goes, yeah, it's like there's certain things that you enunciate. And that did not come until I started doing live broadcasting. Trust me, I still butcher words and use the wrong word for the wrong thing and the wrong tense for the wrong thing. However, it has gotten better. Some of you are going, really, that's better? Yes, it's better. Listen to me. I was very monotone, and if I go back 10 years in the videos that I did on YouTube, back in the day when YouTube first started, because that's where I started doing broadcasting, was on YouTube. However many years, it was 2005, I think they started YouTube. I was doing video actually before that. If you look at those videos that I was doing then, which I have shared from time to time on my Facebook page, I'm very monotone. Hi, this is Andy. I'm a police officer with the city of Anaheim, and I train dogs. So first, what you want to do is get a leash and put it on the dog's collar. After you put it on the dog's collar, you then hold it with your left hand, or no, with your right hand, and you pet with your left hand. You then begin to walk. You start with your left foot, and that tells the dog it's time to heel. When you start with your right leg, that tells the dog he's supposed to stay and he's not supposed to walk alongside you, right? That is how I talk through the whole video, right? That is obviously since changed. My enunciation was bad. The uhs were bad. This popping noise I used to make with my mouth was really bad. It probably still comes out from time to time, but I know I've improved on that. So watch your videos. Begin to make some there. Did you hear it? I just did it. Begin to make some changes in your speech patterns, in the way that you use certain words. Like, don't always start a sentence with "I mean." That drives me crazy. If you watch any sports or actor or artist in an interview, they almost start every response to a question with "I mean," which is, it's strange and it drives me crazy. I don't know why they do that. Literally, people like to use the word literally a lot. Get that out of your speech. My kids use literally. Especially my daughter loves to use literally. What you're going to do is you're going to watch those live videos, or there's replays of those videos, and you're going to notice that you have some of those same things, and you did not even know that you did it. And so you want to begin to watch your videos. It's hard. It's difficult. I hate my laugh. I hate the sound of my voice, but it is very necessary to watch your replays and learn from your replays. All right. So before I sign off, I know the people that are watching the recorded version are going, this is way longer. I didn't have an hour of my day to spend with you, Andy. Why are you making this so long? All right. So thank God. Oh, I see, I'm going out of order. So good. I will have to be willing to do something new poorly at first. Absolutely. Poorly actually might be the best. It may be even better to be organic. Is that the word? There's another word for it. Organic. What's the other word? There's another word for it. Yes, Jim, they do, and you can import your own as well. Oh, so sorry. See, I'm going backwards in the comments. Does StreamYard have virtual backdrops? Absolutely, and you can import your own. Exactly what Navi said. They only have a couple in StreamYard. It's like bricks and something else. Oh, a living room, a very cool living room. I don't have the green screen up, or else I would put that up for you. Got to run. All right, Claire. Thanks. Don't run too hard. All right. How will StreamYard work for live interactive training with everyone quarantined? Now we need a way to do sales training practice. You can do that. You can do a private group. So go create a private group. Rich Moore's sales training in a private group. Invite as many people as you can get in there, or charge them. You can use PayPal or Venmo, and have people pay you $9, $10, $120, $3,000 to be in your private group. And then once they've paid, you now put them in your private group, and now they're in there, and you will teach using StreamYard, and you can bring them on, right? You can bring as many as, I believe it's 8 currently. I think they're thinking about going to more. You can bring up to 8 people on a screen in StreamYard in a private group. Now, of course, you can also use Zoom. I think StreamYard is the most stable, the easiest to use, greatest platform, as long as you don't need 50 people, right? If you don't need 50 people, and 10 is enough, or 8 is enough, 5 are enough, 6, whatever, create a private group, have people join that group, go live in the private group, put the link to join the broadcast in your broadcast, in the comments, or in the description. And then when you go live, people can come on and off as you're going. Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead and click the link, join me. I will bring you on and we'll discuss it live on camera. They can share their screen. They can share their desktop. They can share a Chrome tab. They can share an application on their computer to the broadcast, and you can share yours. And it all works in a private group, all using StreamYard and just sharing the link and that kind of stuff. You'll then have a public page, right? A business page where you're going to talk about your private group and say, oh my gosh, we had such a great event last night. I'm going to bring this down. Sorry, I brought that up. We had such a great event in our private group last night. It was amazing. Any of you that want to come into our private group, here are some of the things that we talked about. And now you can bring in, maybe repurpose some of the video from your private group into the public group, repurpose small snippets of it, do little teasers. This is one of the questions that was asked. And we've found that this was one of the most effective things that people need to do when they're training. And you bring that into your public group, only the snippet, right? And maybe leave out the most important part possibly, or give it out for free. Give the big picture thing for free on your public page, because now people are going to want to come into the public group because they know that's the kind of good quality stuff they get. So there's two strategies, right? You give it all and show it all so that they want to get more, or you leave part of it out and say, if you want to hear, you have like, here are the 5 steps of changing your life in the sales industry. Number 1, number 2. And if you want to see 3, 4, and 5, you're going to want to come and join our group, right? And so there's 2 different strategies. Be careful about doing the sneaky thing where you say, I'm going to share this with you, but I'm only going to give you 2 of the 5. You want to be careful and not do that too often. Quite often, it's better to give away stuff if you want to begin making money. Give away stuff to make money. Yes, give away stuff to make money. Give away your book to make money. Give away your book to get on stage. Give away your book to get on television, right? There's a lot of stuff you want to give away in order to be able to make the big money in your private group and that kind of stuff. Wow, did I go too far with that? I don't know. I just got excited. This training video on my ScreenFlow just got 10 times as long. All right. So, hey, Justine, I'm sure Justine from Hawaii, as I'm guessing, has joined. That is awesome. All right. So again, to my StreamYard people, or to my live Facebook Live people, thank you for joining. You've been added to my training video that I'm creating in ScreenFlow as we speak. And I appreciate your participation, bringing up some pretty cool questions, I think, that added to that particular video. And if you want this video, the rest of it, which shows you how to do all the graphics, the lower thirds, the backgrounds, all that kind of stuff, just let me know in a private message, and or go to Strategic Marketing Today's private group. Ask for permission to be added to that group, and I will add you to the group because you participated today. All right, so that's it. I'm going to sign off. And so for my ScreenFlow people that are watching the recorded version, now what you're going to do is before you hit the end broadcast, you're going to have your brand up. So you bring up your brand over here on the right-hand side. You can see those 2 videos. Remember, I had the intro here on the left and the outro on the right. You're going to now have whatever signature sign off that you're going to have, or you can maybe put your banner up that you're going to say, let's just use the screen, get StreamYard.live. Yes, I tell you, I've improved on my speech patterns. You're going to put up this final banner before your sign off, and again, whatever call to action is you have, right? And then you're going to bring up your branding. All right, so then you have your branding ready, and you're going to say, all right, well, I really appreciate all of you showing up and participating in my live broadcast. If you have any more questions about anything that I'm doing, feel free to send me a private message. I would love to hear from you. And if you want to get started with StreamYard to broadcast just the same way I'm doing right here, just use this URL right down here, getstreamyard.live. And I would appreciate that. That is an affiliate link. And if you use that, I'd be more than happy to help you with some training videos that I have on how to use StreamYard and how to use some advanced skills and techniques and tools to make your broadcast look even more professional. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Take care. And so you have your sign off, and then you hit this video right here, and we end the broadcast. And I'll show you what to do as the video is playing. All right. Talk to you guys later.